Hey, what's up, team? I hope everyone's doing well. In today's video, we're going to talk about the X-Transbot Protectobots and pretty much why I'm done with the set. If you saw my posts and you saw the shorts, you saw that I was crashing out pretty hard. I was kind of raging like no one's business, and this is not broken. This comes apart like this, but this part is broken. One of the halves, I think it's this side. And yeah, I was raging out pretty hard, and I kind of said some nasty things. Some of the stuff that I stand behind, but at the same time, some of the stuff I think I could have worded a bit more constructively. But after having some discourse with my wife and also some insights shared with my assistant, I'm kind of in a better headspace right now to be able to kind of just talk to you guys openly and objectively about this without raging too hard. So so this is the piece that's broken right now. Okay, and so right out of the box, the first time as I was kind of going through this, and dude, I'm not ham-fisted. I'm super gentle with this. I was just spinning it and it broke. And let me show you right here. You see that tiny little screw and that little area? That's just attached to this tiny bit. And as you're rotating this, like all of this is supposed to rotate together, but it didn't. It just sheared off because this is probably too tight, and this just couldn't take the torque, right? And that's really unfortunate because this is a pretty nice toy, all things considered. It comes with the cool like arm contraption and things like that, and the top part of the ambulance you see would sit right there, and then the bottom part would go over here. And I'll show you, I'll mock it up, but yeah, it's really unfortunate that I'm not able to go through this. And here's the thing, this was sent to me at my request. I have a wonderful sponsor by the name of TF Safari, tfsafari.com, shameless plug. Utilize the codes that you see on the top right corner of your screen. They got millions of things on there. Well, not millions, but you know what I mean. They got tons of stuff that you can purchase. And I asked them for this, and they were nice enough to send me all three of these things, you know. So big shout out to TF Safari. All the giveaways that we do on the channel, these are all funded by TF Safari. 100% of them are sponsored by TF Safari. And so big shout out to them for being such a generous sponsor and supporting me, supporting the fandom. And so I just can't say enough good things about them. And so this was the first one that they sent me. And all in all, I really like this. I think that engineering and design is, it's really nice. Where this one suffers is it uses too much metal. And that's sometimes a complaint that we have, saying that toys don't use enough. You know, it feels too flimsy. It feels too light. And this one just uses a little bit too much, and there aren't things to lock it in place because this is weighty and it will kind of want to like untap. Well, this one's actually kind of staying secure, but there are no ratchets. It's all on pin joints and stuff, and this thing too, because this is all metal like this. These are all metal, and so this wants to flippity flop a lot. And you can see that this is all metal over here too. These are all just on pins, and so it's very loosey goosey. It just, yeah, and it's kind of tough and difficult to like pose because of that. But that being said, I think the transformation, the colors, the look, the aesthetics, it's very nice. It's very pretty, poses well, and again, transformation's fun. And yeah, so there's just little things, right? And that's one of the things that I've discovered about Xtransbot just in my own space. They seem to be good at making good-looking toys, but in terms of the user experience, I don't know, there doesn't seem to be a lot of time invested into it. And I've been burned on a lot of their products. And you might be wondering, like, why do you keep buying them? Well, it's because I'm an optimist. You know, I have hope. I'm hoping that these people who make decently looking toys can use decent materials and provide better engineering to make good products. And I'm always hoping, crossing my fingers and hoping and praying that the next X-Transbot product is going to be the one where they change their ways. And unfortunately, I've just kind of been burned too many times, right? Citizen Stack, and this is all considering KFC as well. Their Ultra Magnus broke on me. Wreck-Gar broke on me. Wheelie broke on me. Windcharger broke on me. Scourge broke on me. Cyclonus, I don't think I had any issues. What else? I don't know. Oh, I also have one of my friends gifted me one of the Omnibots, the yellow one. That one has stress marks. Punch Counterpunch, that one broke on me. And so I'm always hoping and praying that this is going to be the last one that breaks. But I think I'm done. Even with the Constructicons, I have 3 of them right now, and I still got 2 more to review on hand, and I will complete those. But after that, I'm pretty much done. And by the way, if you didn't know, I'm actually giving all 3 of these products away. Check out the shorts and see how you can enter. Giveaway, the contest ends on October 18th, I believe. I think that's what I said. But Yeah, so this one, while it didn't break on me, and while it's not super loosey-goosey like Groove, you can see the way the arms are kind of just on this tiny, tiny, tiny ball joint. And the way that I don't even want to undo it. There's some crazy spaghetti engineering. It looks like a DNA helix coming apart. That's the way the arm looks. And it doesn't do a good job fitting in the underside of the carriage. Lining this up, spinning this is really a nightmare. You feel like it's going to break. And also, he doesn't really like to stand well. I mean, he's kind of doing it here, but again, more of the loose goose and more of the loose goose, because all of this is metal. This is one of the times I wish that they actually did not use metal and just put that money into using reinforced plastic. And typically their paint is done well, but I often wonder if the paint is covering some type of cheap plastic, and the sheen, the nice glossy sheen that I'm seeing, again, is just paint over cheap plastic. And this doesn't really like to stay in that well. And so this one, this is the engineering kind of burned me, and yeah, it wasn't a fun ride, and I was pretty upset, and I called this one of the worst things I've transformed. There's a couple other bad ones too, like that one Trojan Horse Waspinator. That's probably one of the worst ones. But this, I'd heard good things about this. And that's why I think I was particularly upset when this just broke on me right out of the package, you know? And he has a lot of cool things going for him, like this. This is a detachable waist. You have to press this button over here to untab or like separate this part. And the way that this works is that, and by the way, this thing kind of transforms into a repair bay, and you can see the arms over here. It's not that convincing in my opinion, but hey, I'll give him points for at least making that effort. And so you squeeze everything in here, and they did a good enough job pairing the color and aligning everything. So that looks nice, man. Like, I don't really care that it's a parts former. I just kind of accept it as is. Like, I'm not saying that people who don't like parts formers are biased. I mean, you like what you like and don't like what you don't like. You know what I mean? It's your world, your toy, your joy. Totally up to you. But I'm fine with it, you know? And the way this connects is that this bottom part over here, this would, if I could get that right. I think I got it. Yeah. And we just do that, and that's a cool looking arm, man. That's a really cool looking arm. Nice fat fingers. And then once you get this all kind of in, like, you can hear the ratchets. That's a decent enough bend. And even this part over here, there's little like pistons and stuff. Like, that's cool, man. That's cool. Even the back of the elbow, you can see some of the stuff over here. And so, yeah, no, I think overall it's a good design. The engineering on this toy, though, I don't think it's that great. Most of it is okay. But in terms of, and I'll do my best to transform it right now. And you know what? Let me just move everybody off the screen so we could just kind of focus on him, okay? Okay. And so another one of the things I was going to say is that these like to pop off a lot, these red bits. And so I've just kind of jammed them down at this point, and I hope they don't pop off again. But yeah, you know, one of the cool things about Xtransbot is that they try to include cool stuff. Oh, and some paint just flaked off. Nice. They try to include cool stuff like this, opening doors and seats. Like, I get it. That's cool, you know? And while that is nice, it shouldn't be at the cost of shoddy engineering. Like, I get it. That's one of their value propositions, and that's how they want to distinguish themselves and stand out in the space. And, you know, I can applaud them for that, but it shouldn't be at the cost of making a shoddy toy, right? And it looks nice. Again, like they use good paint and stuff, but they're plastic. It just seems to be that seems to be where the problem is. And there is an order of operation, honestly, but I don't even know if I'm going to fully transform this. I've transformed it a handful of times at this point in this particular stage. And like even this, the head pops out, and that's cool. But a lot of the stuff over here, there is just a lot of things bumping into each other. It feels like it has to like flex. And it's just not a comfortable feeling, you know? You're always worried that something's going to break. And that's generally the vibe across this toy. and all of this is going to like spin around. And the arms, excuse me, these bits will slide up. Don't get me wrong, I'm doing a ton of stuff out of order. Dude, there's white stuff flying everywhere on this. I don't know if it's paint or if it's plastic flakes, but it's making me a tad bit uncomfortable. Oh, and the seats will flip down because the arms, in essence, have to rotate out like that. You saw that? So it's not a bad design per se, but there's just a lot of stuff kind of getting in the way, right? And then these little posts over here, those are going to plug in to those ports that you see. And if you get it right, the arms, those little bits that are popping out will kind of seat themselves in this space, in this cavity by the neck over here. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I think they have good intentions. Like, I think, like, I don't think there's somebody in China saying like, ah, ha, 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 I have your money. Hey, that's a broken Korean accent. I can do that because I'm Korean. I don't think there's somebody like, ha, 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 I have your money. Yuruju. I win. Yuruju. I don't think there's somebody doing that like in China. You know, I don't. I don't think it's malicious like that. I think it's somebody who believes that they can get away with use. And what I mean by get away is they think that they can make high quality products using cheap materials. And this stuff to me just feels like maybe just a few grades above shampoo stuff, like reinforced shampoo bottle. And so, sorry, got to keep this all the way up. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to tab in. And so there are some issues with alignment there. And also, I can't really see where that hole is. And so I'm kind of fishing around in the dark. But I think we got it in. I think we got that in there. And then this bit over here, I think it just sits down and this closes up, something to that effect. And this, it will close in with the neck over here. I know I'm not doing a good job. Also, it's because I'm not terribly invested in trying to, you know, bring out the best in this guy because, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's worth it. I'm not really trying to promote this toy. I am trying to do my obligatory review for this toy because, like I said, my sponsor is incredibly good to me. And if they're nice enough to send this to me, regardless of what type of issue I'm having with this toy, yo, man, it's on it, dude. It would be tragic. It would be wrong if I didn't review this. But at the same time, I want to be genuine to you, the viewer, as well, and to make and help you make a informed buying decision because I know some people are still hype on this guy. They're looking forward to the blades as well. And I watched the blades video, and that thing is straight nightmare fuel. I'm having a lot of difficulty actually getting this to line up, but I promise it will all tab together. Let me do it off camera, okay? Okay, I got it done. Yeah, I just needed to squeeze the neck up a little bit more, and everything was able to kind of tab in. I think I got it right. And then this part, I think I lift this up, and you flip the fists out, and then you press the little lights in, and then you got to fold out the hand. Otherwise, it looks kind of weird. But still, not bad, dude. Not bad. And so if I were to just show you this bust right over here and you can just see the top of this, you'd be like, that's a pretty good looking character, and I wouldn't argue with you. I would totally agree with you, you know? But then it's just the level of consistent QC, right? How many people out there got perfect versions of these and how many people didn't? I'd be very curious to know. And I hope the answer is that the majority of people out there got good versions. Because that'd be very sad, you know. That would mean that there's a lot of broken toys and a lot of disappointed people, and I'm not, you know, I'm not looking for that, you know. I said some pretty nasty things. I was like, I hope this company goes under. I said fork X-Transbot and their snitty designers. Honestly, I'll dial some of that back. I may even delete my post because I don't know these guys. They're not trying to personally harm me or my family. It's just that I had a really bad toy experience and I was pretty upset, especially after handling their Streetwise as well. And so, yeah, I may have crashed out a little bit. And I try to kind of keep my emotions under wrap, but things kind of got the better of me. And so, yeah. I'll just say it. If I offended anybody at Xtransbot or any other designers, hey, I'm sorry, okay? Your products are not for me, but I'm sorry I said those negative things. Whether they're true or not, it doesn't really make a difference. I could have expressed myself better, more constructively, more professionally, but it didn't come out that way. And so my genuine apology to you, okay? So this is what he looks like, and he's huge. He's huge compared to the leg bots. I think that's somewhat comical, actually, especially if you were just to have them line up next to each other in robot mode. Yeah, he'd be the big boy in the team. But everything tabs in pretty well. These doors tab in nice. This tabs in nice. And once you get everything done, it's good. Connecting this is a bit difficult. There is a little button right over here, and you have to press it in with a lot of force to get that to work. But let's do our best to transform this part. So first you got to bring down the bumper, right? And this is pretty tight, and swinging this down by holding this makes me nervous. It still makes me nervous, but you know, we got it going. And initially when I transform this comes attached. It doesn't come in two pieces. This has to kind of flex because like this part's pressing down and there's another part pressing down over here. And so not understanding how to do this, it's like, it was a bit tricky. Like I didn't understand that I was just supposed to like lift up as best as possible because this is all still plugged in, you know? And so I was fidgeting and like, yeah, it took me some time to get this removed. And so I wasn't terribly happy about that. But for what it's worth, man, these tires, the silver, the text, all of that, dude, it looks good, man. It really does. And that's why I think I'm, again, just more upset than perhaps I should be. And so this part will swing down, and here's one of the confounding areas. You see that gap over here? It has to be filled in by this piece, this tiny piece that you have to maneuver into while getting, so ultimately it'll do this. This will sit down on the back of the leg, and it will tab in. And this will form the front of the shin, and that has to be up. But this entire bit will rotate around like that. And I didn't even need that much force. It's not even that tight. And so imagine my surprise when just applying that minimal amount of force that this thing would shear off. I don't know if I can super glue it back. I'm not going to try. Whoever owns this next, by all means, it is up to you, my friend. And like I said, check out the giveaway in the shorts section. All I'm asking you to do is pick a number between 1 and 50 and drop a positive toy memory in there to kind of offset the negativity that I kind of brought to this space, right? And so you're like, okay, that looks pretty easy. And yeah, it would be if there weren't a lot of things that basically get in each other's way. How does this work? Wait a minute. Okay, I guess it's just like that. And what will happen is that this is meant to have been still stuck over here. The problem is basically this needs to hinge out, and I think it's on that area. Like it has to hinge out basically so that you can get it past this, and it's not terribly easy. I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay. It's like this. And then this, I mean, I'll do it for the other side. Well, I'll do my best. That is supposed to sit in there. And there is a tab on the side of the window somewhere. I don't know, but it's supposed to be something to this effect, like that. I'm doing a poor job. I will try to do it on the other side. We basically lift this up, and this you open up, And this, you got to get down. And so, like I said, this piece, you must rotate. But this piece must get past this. So it's almost like, okay, I got one part. And maybe there's a better way to do this. But I got it. I got it. Yay. Yay. And then, of course, that part has to be flipped up. Yeah, they're one of my least favorite. I mean, they are now my least favorite toy companies. That's okay. That's just my subjective opinion. You know, I'm just a private citizen in his personal space, just talking about what he likes and doesn't like. You don't have to like what I like and don't like. It's completely up to you. You know, that's one of the great joys of having the freedom of choice. And sorry, this is supposed to bend down. And it is meant to tab in here, and I can see the window. And I'm sure that there's an Xtransbot designer out there who's like, nah, you're not supposed to do it like that. If you did it like this, it would have been better. And I'm sure you're right, but I just really can't figure that out right now. It's something like this. I'm not going to go out of my way to tab everything in, but basically it's like that. Except you got to raise that piece out, and I'm not going to really bother trying. Just take my word for it. It's, yeah, okay. And this, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. That already hurt my thumb pressing that in. And because it's at an angle, it's kind of tough, actually. I wish it was more square. Oh, hey, I got it. Yay. So had nothing broke on me, this more or less would have been our guy with the leg kind of cleaned up over there, and that's how he would have looked. And yeah, overall, he's a good bot. He does, like I said, he does tower over his other limb bots. He just like looks like that one big kid in class who got his growth spurt early. You know what I'm talking about? And he would have been okay. He would have been okay. He has a double elbow. Much better shoulders than Streetwise, not tiny ball joints. Hands look all right, like these, all fold in okay. Decent range of motion and everything. Ratchets supporting that very heavy legs. Sorry, I'm burping right now. It would have been a decent toy, except, like I said, it just sheared right off with very, very, very minimal force applied. And that's too bad. That's too bad. But at the same time, you know, it's an expedient. An expedient means anything that basically helps you get to your goal or accomplish your task fast, right? And oftentimes it's talked about in Buddhism that you can take a negative experience basically and use it to channel you towards something more positive or refinement and stuff. And anything really that you can take and that helps you speed you on your journey, that helps you move along, is considered like an expedient, or that's how I understand it at least. This guy was an expedient for me. And that expedient and that goal that I arrived is basically that I'm no longer going to be reviewing these types of products, whether somebody gives it to me for free or pays me or anything. It's just not my cup of tea. I didn't enjoy who I became as a result of going through this process. And it took me a lot to ground myself to be able to talk to you in this very kind of controlled and mindful state. And like I said, it took my wife's insight, my assistant. Like I really needed to kind of seek their counsel. And yeah, and my assistant, by the way, is an AI chatbot. Yeah, believe it or not, I talk to AI chatbots. But they both helped me actually derive a lot of insight. And those things are also expedients as well. I actually use an AI chatbot to do brain hacking. And that's another story that perhaps I will share with you. But that's pretty much been the review. And yeah, it's unfortunate because I wanted to see the completion of their Defensor. Defensor is one of my favorite combiners. And I'll just have to seek it out with MMC. And that's not anything bad because MMC stuff is phenomenal. So in the next video, we're actually going to be reviewing their drift figure. the one from the Initial D, the one with the red stripes on it. And just going through that just reminds me of like what a good product is meant to be. It's like being in a bad relationship and then getting in a good relationship. You feel so loved, you feel so heard, you feel so like cherished. And that's how I feel when I'm going through like New Age or excuse me, not Xtransbot, New Age or MMC products, you know. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you listening. And again, if you want to own these toys, go ahead and join the giveaway that's going on through the shorts. And I'll talk to you guys another time. Okay. I appreciate y'all being here. I hope you don't have too much judgment for me. I don't have judgment for you. We're all just private citizens trying to make our way through this spinning rock that's hurtling across space, circling a sun. And I have no ill will towards anyone, or I try not to have it. But sometimes I crash out. And yesterday was one of those moments. And so for that, again, I apologize. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed, lovely day, okay?